welcome to Oceanic Oracle. My name is Ari and today I'm going to be sharing my most anticipated releases for 2022. You probably have noticed that I'm in a different location. I just felt like filming this video in front of my Christmas lights and giving you a change of scenery. I mean, if you've seen my weekly vlogs, you will know that this is my sofa, but I have put my Christmas lights up and they are flashing, so hopefully that doesn't distract you or me too much. I have made a list of all the book releases that I'm anticipating in 2022. There are quite a lot on here. I think they're mostly like romance. Like there are some fantasy books. You'll see, won't we? I have some historical fiction. I have some mystery thrillers. Yeah, I do have a variety of things. And I have my computer down here, so if you see me with my eyes flitting down, it's just to look at the title. And each of these books I'll be doing in months, so I think what I'm going to do when I'm uploading this is I'm going to group all the releases based on the months together, because some months I only have one, some months I don't have any. These are just going to be a list, a brief list, because I don't want this video to take forever. Without further ado, let's get started. So the first book I have on this list is quite fitting because in January this year I read all of the Bridgerton series, and in January next year a new Julia Quinn book comes out, and this is Miss Butterworth and the Mad Baron. If you've read the Bridgerton series, you know that this is a big thing in Hyacinth's books. Hyacinth's book is called It's in His Kiss. This book is what Hyacinth actually reads to Lady Danbury in this book, so I believe the book itself is going to be like a collection of short stories, or maybe an eccentric thing that was in His Kiss. Miss Butterworth is like a bleeding, like, oh my goodness, how could anything else go wrong? Like that sort of heroine, at least from the small sections that we like read in It's in His Kiss. And I'm looking forward to a new Julia Quinn book. So this comes out in January, I think like late January. So if it's available in my bookshop, I'm probably going to pick it up. And yeah, starting off the year with historical romance, I am excited. In February, the graphic novel edition of Loveless by Alice Oseman comes out. I am so excited for this. Like, I've read the book. I read the book in June this year and I loved it. And I really want to see what Georgia looks like in art form. I don't know how this is going to be adapted, if the graphic novel is going to be as long, if not longer, than the book, but I just don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Loveless, the graphic novel, is also illustrated by Alice Oseman. If you don't know, she is the author of the Heartstopper series, like author and illustrator. Her art style is just great. I really love her Heartstopper series. It's about two boys falling in love, and it's about the sort of like way in which like people can come to grips with their sexuality. I mean, Nick doesn't know that he's bi until he meets Charlie and he actually like starts to question himself. It's really like, it's just a sweet book and I really love her art style. I can't wait to hopefully pick this up soon. If I see it in my bookshop, which I probably will because we have lots of Alice Oseman up there, I'm going to be grabbing it because I really love Alice Oseman and her works. So that was the start of February. I have a murder mystery book that I don't know, I've read this author before, but I haven't posted about it really online because I read them last year. And this new one is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I've read both The Hunting Party and The Guest List. So I've read both of Lucy Foley's mysteries. I actually want to read the next one because in my opinion, her writing just got better. And in my opinion, I think she got better in her second book, so I'm interested to see what her next book is. I want to see how her journey as an author is going. I don't really know the concept, but then it probably takes place in Paris, given the fact that it's called A Paris Apartment. But I don't really want to know a lot when I go into mystery thrillers because I don't like knowing too much about them. It's just a personal preference, but I don't want to get spoiled. So I know that this is about a single woman and it takes place in Paris, and that's about it. But yeah, those are the two releases I'm looking forward to in February. So obviously March, the best month, comes up next. I'm very biased. I am born in March. I'm a Pisces with an Aries moon. So yeah, I am a bit full of myself. I like to think I'm loud around my friends. I know there's going to be a joke about like emotional and all that sort of thing. I don't care. The next book actually comes out on my birthday, and that is Hook, Line and Sinker. This, I believe, is a sequel in her, was it Bellinger sisters? I'm assuming it's going to be a trilogy. I don't know why I'm assuming that there are 3 sisters. Maybe it's just because I have 2 sisters and there are 3 of us. But anyway, I'm looking forward to this book. As I said, this is released on my birthday, so who knows, maybe I'll get it on my birthday. I mean, it's a romance book, so it just takes place in the same city, and it's about another sister in this group. I'm looking forward to this because I like adult romance and I think it's fun. I like Tessa Bailey's writing, and yeah, that's just what I want to do. So the next book that's on my list is A Brush with Love. So this is about Harper, who is waiting for her placement into a top oral surgery residency program. So this girl, Harper, she crashes into Dan, who I think she finds attractive and I think is the main male protagonist. But Harper doesn't want to be distracted at all at her residency. She wants to be like going in the right direction. So Dan is a first-year dental student with a family legacy to uphold. Or to contend with, actually. Dan doesn't have the same passion for pulling teeth that Harper has, though he finds himself falling for her and is willing to play by Harper's rules. It's just cute. I haven't read many books about like 2 dentists falling in love. I'm interested. I haven't read anything by this author, and I'll just see. I think this sounds like a fun romance, and it takes place up there somewhere different, so why not? The next book is So This Is Ever After by F.T. Lukens. This is sort of like an Arthurian, like, gay romance, I guess. It's a young adult fantasy book, and it's about what happens after the chosen one wins the kingdom and has to get married to keep it and to stay alive. Sounds fun, you know, the whole play on the chosen one trope. I'm just looking forward to seeing where it goes. I think this will just be fun. I'm in the mood for some fun YA like fantasy books, and I think it's nice to read something different because pretty much all the books you read, it's all about what goes on before the ever after, and then this book, like, it plays something else, and I think it's fun. That's the last release I want to read in March. Just like it's just stuff that's on my radar. I'm sure I'll pick up more books. Like, knowing me, I'll definitely find other books that I'll enjoy, but these are just the ones that I'm really like anticipating. The next one that might be a surprise to some people is Electra by Jennifer Saint. I mean, it might not surprise you, seeing as like Ariadne made it into my almost favourites of 2021, but this is about Electra. If you don't know the story of Electra, Electra is the daughter of Agamemnon and Clytemnestra. Clytemnestra is also like the epitome of a bad wife because she kills her husband and wants him dead. Clytemnestra is important because she plays an important role in the story. If you know the play Electra, Electra is the daughter of Agamemnon and Clytemnestra. Electra has been like exiled and she's been forced to marry this goat herder, also a farmer, but they haven't like, there's been no consummation. And this story, I think, takes place in like, based on this play. And in this play, one of the big reasons, aside from Clytemnestra cheating on Agamemnon, thinking that he's dead and plotting his death when he comes back, Agamemnon brings back Cassandra. Cassandra is one of the princesses of Troy, or was one of the princesses of Troy, and she's been taken back to Greece as a like war prize, basically, because men used to do that. And this story, I think, is actually going to be told in 3 different points of views. So I know that going in, I should actually enjoy this more, knowing that it's going to be like that beforehand. Because one of the reasons that Ariadne wasn't as like high up on my list was because that I didn't expect there to be two points of view, and there were. So now I know that there are 3 points of view. I'm looking forward to reading this, and I hope it's good. I did enjoy Jennifer Saint's writing. Again, I think it was just like the issue with getting 25% into the book and then being introduced to another point of view that I didn't know was going to be in there. So there we go. I'm excited to read Electra, and that comes out in April. The next one I have on here is The Merciless Ones. I read The Gilded Ones in April this year, and I really liked it. It was just an interesting take and an interesting concept of fantasy and like blood magic and abilities that can be like related to it. It was really good. This is the sequel. I'm looking forward to seeing where the story goes. I'm just looking forward to picking it up. Well, I hope it's going to be really, really good. It's just something I want to read, and I want to continue the series. So that's the basis of it, right? The next one that comes out in April is The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa. I'm guessing this is about a wedding crasher. Someone turns up to a wedding and crashes the party. So Mia Sosa wrote The Worst Best Man. I haven't read that one, but I think this book just sounds really interesting because like I haven't read many books that take place at like weddings, so celebrating someone else's marriage and then you finding romance there. So this is about a couple who sort of like bump into each other at a wedding, and the guy pretends that she's his girlfriend to his family because he is not moving in the direction that they want him to. So he pretends that she is his girlfriend. Then he has to go find her and beg her to be his pretend girlfriend because like can't have that. So yes, fake dating is in here, which I love. Fake dating trope in romance. Give me all of that, please. And it just sounds like fun. Obviously, it's a romance novel, so I'm assuming that they're going to get together by the end. I'm looking forward to reading this. I haven't read anything that Maya Sosa has written, so if I like this book, then maybe I'll give The Worst Best Man a go. And the next book I have on my list is This May End Badly by Samantha Markham. This is about like a high-stakes boarding school prank war that turns into a fake dating scheme. Surprise, more fake dating. The tagline is, 2 teens must decide if they're ready to take the ultimate risk, fall in love. I'm assuming this is YA, seeing it's about, it's about teenagers. I think a prank war turned fake dating thing just sounds really fun, and like the chance, like stuff that they could get up to just like seems limitless. Pranking mastermind Doe and her motley band of Western girls are determined to win the century-long feud against Winfield Academy before the clock strikes down on their senior year. It just seems like fun. Prank wars are interesting to read about. Like, it just seems like a fun time, and the cover also looks like I don't know. I'm just intrigued. The actual the thing that grabbed my attention was the prank war turned fake dating. I want to give this a go. We'll see if I'll read it when it comes out in April. The next book I have on here is actually a co-authored book. It's called She Gets the Girl. So it's written by Rachel Linnicott and Alison Derrick. And the description of this is like, combine She's All That and What If It's Us? So it's another hate to love romance between 2 girls, I think. Yeah, so this follows main character Alex Blackwood. She's headstrong, she's chaotic, and she's a flirt, apparently. She knows how to get the girl. Keeping her, on the other hand, not so much. Molly Parker has everything her life in control except for her complete awkwardness with just about anyone besides her mum. Sounds fun. I think it's YA. Well, yeah, it's a YA romantic comedy. Like, hate to love. Give me that. Hate to love is one of my favourite tropes to read. Like, I love enemies to lovers or like hate to love stories. It's just what I want. This sounds like it could be fun. I think the cover looks really cute. I love their roller skates and like the flowers. I love the flowers. I don't know, it's just something about this cover makes me feel like this is just warm and like it's spring. It really drew my eye, and I think the story sounds fun. So next we move on to the month of May. May is a great month. The book that I want to read first, as soon as it's out in May, is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I read both of Emily Henry's romances like this year. So I read her like The People We Meet on Vacation and Beach Read. I read both of those this year and I loved them. And I think I'm going to like Emily Henry's next book even more. I mean, it's about books. What's not to love about it? Nora Stephens' life is like books. She's read them all and she's not that type of heroine. Her life is not like a heroine. She's not plucky, she's not laid back, she's not the dream girl, she's not the sweetheart, she's not this, she's not that. The only people Nora is a heroine to is her clients, whom she lands enormous deals in the cutthroat industry. I mean, the book industry, I know, is like really, really tough. Nora agrees to go to Sunshine Falls in North Carolina for the month of August to help her sister Libby, because Libby wants to get away for a girls' trip. And she wants to go to a small town. Nora has aspirations for bumping into like a romantic lead, like a handsome country doctor or a bulging four-armed bartender. She keeps bumping into this guy called Charlie Lastra, who's a bookish, brooding editor back from the city. It would be a meet cute if not for the fact that they've met many times and it's never been cute. Nora knows she's not an ideal heroine. Charlie knows he's nobody's hero. But when they're thrown together again and again in a series of coincidences no editor worth their salt would allow, what they discover will unravel the carefully crafted stories they've written about themselves. I know I like Emily Henry's work. I know I'm probably going to love this book. And the cover looks cute too. What can I say? I'm a sucker for a good cover. I'm definitely one of those people who prefers like illustrated covers to people on the cover, but that's just me. That's just me. So that is definitely my most anticipated release for May. But I do have another one by another author that I really love, and that is Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood. A scientist should never co-inhabit with her annoyingly hot nemesis. It leads to combustion. So again, another hate to love. Mara, Sadie and Hannah are friends first, scientists always. Love that. Through the fields of study, they might take them to different corners of the world, but they all agree on this universal truth. When it comes to love and science, opposites attract and rivals make you burn. And this follows Mara, who is an environmental engineer. She knows all about the delicate nature of ecosystems, which I love. It's like, I'll take that. They require balance and leaving the thermostat alone. And not stealing someone else's food, and other rules Liam, her detestable big oil lawyer of a roommate, knows nothing about. Oh. So we see where the issues lie here. So obviously you have the different areas of the industry. Liam has always been entrenched in his aunt's house like some glowering, grumpy giant when Mara moved in, with his big muscles and kissable mouth, just sitting there on the couch, tempting respectable scientists to the dark side. But Elena was her mentor, and Mara's not about to move out and give up on her inheritance without a fight. The problem is, living with someone means getting to know them. And the more Mara finds out about Liam, the harder it is to loathe him and the easier it is to love him. Give me another book about women in STEM falling in love. I'll take it. I'm looking forward to reading this. It just sounds fun. Ali Hazelwood has 3 books coming out in like a month between them, so I'm really looking forward to this. The last release in May that I'm looking forward to is Zachary Ying and the Dragon Emperor. So this is by Shiran J. Zhao. It's pitched as Percy Jackson meets Tristan Strong in an action-packed middle grade contemporary fantasy following a young boy journeying across China. I want to pick it up. I want to read it. I want to give me more mythology-based like middle grade stuff. Just what I need. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds really interesting. I love that there's more of an opportunity to read about Chinese mythology, and I'm just so excited. Like, Dragon Emperor, give that to me. Like, having grown up listening to stories about the Jade Emperor, I'm looking forward to seeing what this is about and the Dragon Emperor and the journey that Zachary Ying goes on. Just sounds like fun. The cover looks so cool too. When you say Percy Jackson meets something else, I'm probably going to pick it up, let's be honest. And now we're in June. And no surprise, the next book that I'm looking forward to is the next book Ali Hazelwood is releasing, which is Stuck on You. This book follows Sadie, who is a civil engineer. Logically, Sadie knows that civil engineers are supposed to build bridges. However, as a woman of STEM, she also understands that variables can change. And when you're stuck for hours in a tiny New York elevator with a man who broke your heart, you earn the right to burn that brawny blonde bridge to the ground. So I think this follows Sadie, who is a civil engineer. Evidently, she gets stuck in a lift with her ex-boyfriend and takes them hours, and obviously she wants to burn all the bridges that link them together down. I think this is a second chance romance, just reading it. I'm a sucker for like a good second chance romance. Like Persuasion is my favorite, like one of my favorite books of all time, and that is like the epitome of like a second chance romance. So I'm interested to see how this goes. It sounds like there's also going to be hate, or it's like love to hate to love, that sort of thing. I'm looking forward to seeing this. Give me more women in STEM in romance books. Like, I like Ali Hazelwood's writing, and I will eat that stuff up like nobody's business. The next book that comes out in June is so exciting. I love baking, like reality baking shows. Like The Great British Bake Off is one of my favorite shows of all time, and this book is called Fake It Till You Bake It. So this is about a reality star and a cupcake baking football player pretending to be a couple to save his bakery. So in this romance, and I love baking in books, and I think that obviously, so you have fake dating, which I like. It just seems like the perfect thing to enjoy while eating a baked good on like a beach somewhere, maybe. I mean, maybe I'd be enjoying it with like a cocktail if I could, but we'll see. But this just sounds so nice, and like the cover is stunning. Give me that pink. Like, I love pink covers. It just looks beautiful. I can't wait to read this. It sounds like something that's right up my alley. I want STEM in romance. I want baking. Like, I just eat up adult romance. Basically, this is like adult romances I want to read next year. We're moving on to July now, and like this is like one of the biggest books I'm waiting for the whole year, and this is the sequel to Legendborn, Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. I loved Legendborn. Legendborn is like top tier. It's such a good book. It's an Arthurian retelling. It's just so good, and like this magic system is so interesting. You have crossover of like African root magic as well as like the magics that's associated with King Arthur. I am so excited. I cannot wait for the sequel. I love Tracy Deonn's writing. I am so excited. I'm going to pick this up as soon as I possibly can. I love Arthurian legend, and I love like this concept is just so good. It's so good. I can't wait to pick it up. I'm like, fingers crossed I will be able to get it as soon as it comes out, but you just never know. I'm so excited. If you want to read a book about Arthurian legend and you want to read a sort of modern take on it, so like magical realism, definitely pick it up. The next book is the final book in the Ali Hazelwood novella series. This is about Hannah. Hannah is a NASA aerospace engineer, but she's found herself injured and stranded at a remote Arctic research station, and she's stuck with her longtime rival. So this book is Below Zero. I don't know if I said it. I think I'll just eat up whatever Ali Hazelwood puts out because I just love her writing. I'm excited. Give me the like rivals to lovers. I'm injured in the Arctic, like it's probably gonna be cold. This sort of stuff just makes me happy, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. The final book in July that I want to read is The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Hannah Brooks looks more like a kindergarten teacher than someone who could kill you with a wine bottle opener, or a ballpoint pen, or a dinner napkin. But the truth is, she's an executive protective agent, so like a bodyguard. She's just been hired to protect superstar actor Jack Stapleton. from his middle-aged corgi-stealing stalker. Why do people steal people's dogs? Oh my god, that's such an invasion of privacy. Jack Stapleton's a household name, captured by paparazzi on beaches all over the world, famous for, among other things, rising out of the waves in all manners of clingy board shorts and glistening like a Roman deity. Someone thinks highly of himself. But a few years back, in the wake of a family tragedy, he dropped from the public eye and went off the grid. I think this is about like stuff that goes on in Jack's life, so that's like more than meets the eye. And obviously, I think he falls for his bodyguard, and I think she falls for him. Interesting take on romance. Cover looks cute, and like, I don't know, I'm a sucker for flowers, obviously. Like, I really do like flowers on covers. So the next book that I want to read is Husband Material by Alexis Hall. This is the sequel to Boyfriend Material, which I read earlier this year. I enjoyed it. It's not like a new favourite or anything, and I want to see where this goes. I like the characters. They weren't my favourite. I liked them. So the first book was about like fake dating and like falling in love that way, and I'm excited to see like where it goes. I'd like to read it, and I'm looking forward to picking it up. Just want to see where these characters go. What else can I say? That's it. So it's the start of August, and I want to read The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. This is the sequel to Six Crimson Cranes. I want to pick this up when it comes out because I'm hoping to get Six Crimson Cranes for Christmas. I'm assuming I'm going to like Six Crimson Cranes, and I want to see where they go with it, what Elizabeth Lim does with it. Just sounds fun. There's no blurb, there's no nothing, there's just a title card. Hopefully I like Six Crimson Cranes because I think they're like, I think I'm gonna love it. So I think, I'm anticipating this next release. And yeah, simple as that. Now we're moving on to September. I have one release for September and then a few more for November. So September, the release I want to read is The Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas, where Team Semidios compete in a series of challenges with the highest stakes in this electric new Mexican-inspired fantasy from Aidan Thomas. As each new decade begins, the sun's power must be replenished so that the soul can keep traveling across the sky and keep the evil obsidian gods at bay. The Semidioses, I'm sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly, between the ages of 13 and 18 are selected by Sol himself as the most worthy to compete in the Sunbearer Trials. The winner carries the light and life to all the temples of Reino del Sol, but the loser has the greatest honor of all. They will be sacrificed to Sol, and their bodies will be used to fuel the sunstones that will protect people of Reino del Sol for the next 10 years. Our main character, I'm assuming, is going to be taking part. And yeah, I'm just excited to read other things by Aidan Thomas. I haven't been able to pick up his like Peter Pan inspired book, but I think this is going to be a duology, and it just sounds really, really cool. I'd love to read more things inspired by different areas of the world. I just like reading about mythology of other places, not just like England, Greece, Rome, you know, the general ones. It sounds like it's going to be a good book. I'm looking forward to picking it up. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to reading more from Aidan Thomas. I'm moving on to November now, and we're almost at the end, thank goodness. The next book I have on here is A Tempest of Tea. This is pitched as like King Arthur meets Peaky Blinders, which seems cool. It's about gangs of outcasts in a deadly heist led by Arthur Casimir to save her tea room, which fronts an illegal blood house where local vampires purchase fresh blood. Seems like, it just seems interesting. I want to read more things that are like King Arthur inspired, and like obviously this doesn't have a cover or anything, but it's on my list, on my radar. I'm gonna keep an eye out for it when November comes next year. Oh my god. So I went all the way through from January through to November. I had a look at the list that they have right now for December next year. Obviously release dates can change, like release dates change based on what like country you're in, what editions you're getting and all that sort of thing. So that's just the list that I have based on the initial things on Goodreads. Things may change, release dates may shift. It's not the end of the world. This is just a general idea, and this is just a list of things that I'm excited for. But we've come all the way to the end, and I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope you're having a nice countdown to Christmas. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you want more bookish content. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night, depending on when you're watching this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.